What's up, guys? This is Marciea here with another episode of the Lady Strong Fitcast. And today I have a very special guest. We have co-founder of Cryo Lounge in Wheaton, aka Ed, Edwina, and then her partner, who is not also here, Alex, as well, the owners of Cryo Lounge in Wheaton. How are you today, Ed?
Hi, Marcia. We're doing good. Alex is working, freezing people, so
I love it. I love it. So let's just dive right in and start talking about that, because as you and I had a sidebar conversation prior to this episode airing, and I'm a huge advocate of cryotherapy. But for some people that are tuning in today, they may not know what cryotherapy is. So can you tell a little bit about your business and what cryotherapy is?
So the big question is this: how were two women who didn't cheat and purchase a gym franchise model, how were they able to spread their mission and purpose by empowering and transforming hundreds of women's lives through fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability with a micro gym business model of women only? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. We are Lady Strong Fitness.
Yeah, so we're named Cryo Lounge. And it started out with just cryotherapy, right? So cryotherapy is basically hyper freezing someone in some sort of chamber to receive a reaction out of their body to decrease inflammation, promote good blood flow, and help and aid in healing and wellness, right? So that's how it started. And then, so we have the cryotherapy machine that grew into, we now have compressions. So we have a brand called Normatec. And we have legs, hips, and arms. Again, lymphatic drainage, helping promote all your systems in your body to flow as freely as possible for optimum health. Then we have a light therapy bed. So it basically looks like a tanning bed, gives off no UV. It's red, near infrared, and green. It's just a different modality at a cellular level to help decrease inflammation, promote good, healthy living. What else do we have? We have a vibration plate. So it's a medical grade vibration plate. It vibrates, it oscillates. Wait for it. Again, lymphatic drainage. Then we have two machines that are really cool. We have a machine called the T-Shock, and that does three things. It does a localized cryo. So basically what that is, it's like an ultrasound wand. And I can give a tour as well, like a really fast little tour. It has a little ultrasound wand, and we call it more than an ice pack, less than whole body cryo, right? So let's say your knee hurts and you were going to put a bag of peas on it, right? So basically the wand uses cold and hot to decrease the inflammation on that point that hurts. And then if you can do it, then we would throw you in the cold body, the whole body chamber, for your whole body to have the reaction. So it's kind of like a double whammy to help you feel better.
I love that.
That one also does cryofacials. So again, it uses hot and cold. Alex does these. They're amazing. You walk out and your face feels so tight and healthy, and you're like, I never want to put on makeup again. And then it also does like a permanent fat burn. So kills the fat cells, your body eliminates them. You can lose anywhere between 1/2 inch to 3 inches, just to kind of help. If you're working out all the time, you're like, I still have this little pooch by my belly, I can't get rid of it. We take a picture of the fat on the inside. It's kind of like awesome and gross at the same time. You're like, I want to know, but I don't want to do it, but you got to know. And then we're able to target that area and get rid of that fat, help you get rid of that fat with like different processes and stuff. And then we have an EMS machine, which, oh my God, it's like the craziest thing. So you put these paddles on like your belly, your butt, your thighs, and it zaps your muscles. So it burns fat and builds muscle.
So EMS, or is it like electromagnetic?
Yeah. And so basically like they'll say it's like doing 20,000 crunchers in 30 minutes, right? You like literally sit there, you're like, it's not so bad. And then you're like, oh, but we kind of were like, well, this is like in conjunction with working out, just kind of to help kickstart 100%. You, kind of keep you going, keep those muscles tight, build up your butt, do all these things. So those are the modalities that we actually have in here, but it all really did start with cryo. So cryo is, all right, I'm going to walk and talk, and let's just hope this all works. All right. Well, here is also, I don't know how to turn this around. So
that's okay. No, you're good.
All right. So here's the compressions, right? So we have the legs, we have the hips, and then we have the arms, and you zip those up here's my little chill room. And then you sit in these chairs. It's a 30-minute nap. It compresses you like a blood pressure cuff really hard and then releases really hard to get that blood flow.
Yeah. So
this is our vibration plate. So you stand on here, it vibrates and it oscillates, and we call it the twerking machine because you kind of just sit there and you like vibrate and oscillate. All right. So then we come out here, and this is our cryo room. There's our little tagline. Let me see if I can get it. Just chill. So cute. And then here's our machine. So basically the door opens and you step in there. There's like a little platform. The platform raises you up. As soon as we can see your head above the rim, the process starts. We have these incredible looking gas tanks that are a little scary, but awesome looking. And that's where you get hyper frozen. Now we're going to just let them here. All right, so here's our like relaxation room. It's our light therapy room. So here's the light bed. Looks like a tanning bed. You close it down just the same way. The brand is called ARC, ARRC, LED.com. He's got amazing information on his website. I also have to always show everyone, there's my light bulbs. They are these awesome lights because it's my light room. So I have giant light bulbs in there. It's so cute. All right, so we just have this like esthetician's bed. Here's the T-Shock machine. So that's your permanent fat burn, facials, localized cryo. We just use this like wand like this. So we have an ultrasound gel. We put it on there. It conducts the cold and hot. And then we have here's our EMS machine. So that's all the fun things that we do.
Love it.
Someone's
Very
just
cool.
leaving. We're going to go in our quiet room. Okay. So those are the things we do. So it all started with cryotherapy because here's how we started thinking. We started thinking if we can take away 3% of someone's pain, right? Everyone's got inflammation. Everyone's got pain. Everyone's got like they're sad, they're miserable. And if we can take away 3% of someone's pain, at least, they just become better people, right? So if you can start realizing that life is better when you're not constantly sore, constantly crabby, constantly in pain, you can't sleep, all these things that cryo can help you with, you become a better person. You're a better partner, you're a better worker, you're a better mom, dad. You're just, not road raging out there all the time. So if we can start helping people get on a path of just less pain, less crabbiness, then maybe we're doing a little bit of our own part for the world to make everyone.
So I'll be honest with you, like I said, I'm a huge advocate of it and I know the benefits behind it. And for some people that aren't too educated on what all these services have to offer, let's be honest, the world is made of a lot of skepticism. So do you offer some sort of like promo that they can take advantage of to maybe try some of these things out for the first time person who's maybe interested on seeing if this is something that's for them? Do you guys offer that there?
So we don't do any kind of promos like that. We've kind of changed our pricing structure to be a little bit like CarMaxy. So we used to do, we partner with this gym or this doctor or this person, and this person would get 5% off, 10% off. It got so crazy. And we're not about having one person get a better deal than another person. So we restructured our pricing program. Your first time cryotherapy is $25. And then after that, it's $35. We do offer packages for people that want to come more often, but we feel we've priced it enough that it's not about having 10 people come in at $80 a pop and that's it. We want 80 people to come in and get their sessions in. Because if you make it so crazy priced, people are just going to come and try it for fun, right? It's not about that. It's not about just coming one time. And I mean, of course, it's super fun and you can come one time and whatever. But if you really want to get the benefits, you have to come a little bit more often. And we can't price ourselves so crazy that people start saying, I don't want to pay for that, right? Yeah. Like people are struggling with money and it's been crazy lately. And we want people to not put health and their well-being on that second page of what I want to spend my money on.
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
ladies, if you're tuning in, that first cryo session is for $25. And I know personally the value of that, and that's a steal. So take advantage of it while you can. And then, to fast forwarding, have you seen, can you share some of these success stories of maybe some of the customers that you've had, just to kind of, get these ladies excited about, like, have them see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Just that one-time visit.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, once you get past that, I have to go into a chamber and go below negative 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you get past that kind of crazy idea, and you think, why would I want to do this? Why do I have to do this? How is this going to help me? Right. So if you have no problems in life and you're so lucky and you sleep well and you just want to do it for overall health, you're going to get in there and everyone's going to have a result, right? Like you burn 500 to 800 calories in there. I always like to start with my girls with that, because who doesn't want that, right?
Yeah.
So think of it like you run 5 miles, you burn 500 calories, right? So cryo doesn't build muscle, but it does burn the calories. So it helps you in conjunction with anything else you're doing to add to that calorie burn, right? You sleep better, you feel better, your serotonin is boosted, any kind of aches and pains start going away. And you start feeling like, oh, I can do this. So for instance, somebody who works out, like they're on a workout journey and they joined a gym and they found you guys and this is how they're going to do it, right? And they go for like a week or two and then they can't move. They can't get up off the toilet because their legs don't work anymore. They can't get out of bed because their abs are killing them, and what are they going to do? They're going to be like, well, I can't work out today.
Yeah.
Right. Because I can't even put my shoes on
Right.
and walk out the door. The last thing I'm going to do is go and get more sore.
Yeah.
So then what happens is they skip today. And then tomorrow, we all know the second day, right, is always worse. So tomorrow you're like, oh, I am for sure not going today. Right. And what happens is then they forget to go. And they're like, oh, I'll just go next week. And then they never go.
Yeah.
So the idea with cryo and working out is if you're less sore, you're more apt to go and work out more. 100%. So we had one gal and she says she lost 30 pounds because of cryo. And everyone's like, how does that happen? Right? Because it's not the calorie burn, right? But here's the story with her, right? A little bit heavier, kind of like lost a little bit of control and got lazy, ate poorly, didn't work out, had a bunch of kids, stress, life, whatever, and was very miserable and unhappy. So what did she do? She sat on her couch, she watched her shows, and she ate her crappy food. She felt good for a minute, and then she was like miserable, right? Because you feel good for that 30 seconds, you're eating something delicious, and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. Yeah. And then what does she do? She's sad, she sits on the couch, she eats some more, right? And so it's this vicious cycle. So she got brave. She came here, she was embarrassed because she was heavier, whatever, who cares? You get here, we start taking away the information. We talk you through the processes. We like push you to your limits and you get in there. And then guess what? She started feeling better. So instead of sitting on the couch, because now she had more energy, I mean, this isn't after one time, like it's a therapy, not a cure, right? So you have to come a little bit more. So she'd probably been coming for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, she didn't want to sit on the couch. She had all this energy. She was like, I'm going to go for a walk.
Awesome.
So she took her dog. She walked around the block, right? Then she was sore because she doesn't do all these activities. She went and did cryo. She came back. She was like, oh, I'm going to eat a little better because I got these calorie burn. And then she started walking and then she started walking and then she started running and she lost 30 pounds. And she came in here crying.
Oh, that's
right.
So cool.
And it wasn't, and she's like, cryo helped me lose the weight. Well, in theory, cryo just helped make her feel better so she can get up motivated and get off the couch. But that's the little things, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Another one, we have this guy, literally, I started crying. He has MS so bad, right? Came in here walking with canes, couldn't even move, shaky legs, have to help him in there, right? On severe medicines, all these things. He does the compressions with the legs, and then he does the cryo. And after a couple months, he literally danced in like a little Irish jig in our waiting room and said he has never felt better and he can actually walk and do his job. I was literally, I'm a crybaby, sobbing my eyes out because here's a guy who literally like couldn't get out of bed because he was in so much pain. And then he came and he came and he came and finally just taking away that little percentage of pain, and he can walk and he can be a better spouse. And
I love that. Yeah.
It was just Oh my God. It was so
I do have a story to share with you. And it's actually shout out to one of our members, Lexi. Lexi, I actually recommended that she go to Wheaton Cryotherapy to visit you guys. Lexi was taking on it was a 90-day challenge, a 3-month challenge we had put together for one lucky winner to work with myself. And the goal was to lose 15 pounds within that 90 days. But she was complaining about how sore she was. And, you know, I said, you need to do some self-care. And I had advised that you take advantage of cryotherapy. So she's like, I don't know what that is. I've never done it before. I actually gave her my own money. I'm like, I'm willing to pay for the first session myself. I really do. This is how bad I wanted her to do it. And I did. And the feedback that I got, she's like, oh my God. She's like, I was really nervous. I was scared, but she's like, it really helped her with her menstrual cycle. And I know that was something that, you know, she was coming up on, and, you know, it's just minor things that you wouldn't even think of that plays a huge impact in your lifestyle. So,
I mean, even like during your period, right? Everything's inflamed. You're just crampy, you're crabby, you've got weird cravings. So we always say, I have a funny story. So I always say that week where you're like just a raging bitch and you're like PMSing and you're like wanting to like just be crazy. That's the perfect week to come in.
Yeah.
Because it takes that inflammation away and it resets your body clock. We had a girl come in, and when we first figured out that this helped people, is this poor girl had the worst PMS, the worst periods. Her husband like hid the knives every time, every month. And he knew like she was going to slice him if he said the wrong thing, which everything was wrong at that point. Right. And she came in and she was doing cryo and she was like, you want to hear a funny story, Ed? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I got my period last month and my husband said to me, are you pregnant? And she was like, no, why? He's like, why didn't you like bite my head off this month? And she was like, I don't know. Like, oh, that's weird. And she realized she had just happened to come in to cryo a couple of times that week, and it kind of calmed her down. It helped decrease her pain. And she's like, so she's like, you know, when I have my period, because I'm coming to cryo, like she comes and does that. And so it just helps. It helps women in perimenopause and menopause with like hot flashes too. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get them, right? It doesn't mean you're not going to get cramps. It doesn't mean you're not going to get, you know, your period. But with healthier eating, cleaner eating and all of that, and doing the cryo, you shouldn't have bad cramps, like debilitating. You shouldn't be bleeding that heavy, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you hit menopause, you get, everything else gets out of whack. We really get like the short end of the stick being women, right? So you start, you know, these crazy sweats, you get mood swings, you get bad sleep, you get all this. And so it doesn't mean you're not going to go through it, but maybe it's not like this, right? Maybe it's just little pieces like this. And of course you're going to have spikes here and there of how your body's going out of whack and trying to figure things out. But it really does kind of like regulate your hormones. So there's not such big swings up and down. 100%. And if we can give ourselves just that, why not?
So a lot of people don't, and I appreciate you sharing a lot of these success stories, but what's most frustrating is a lot of people don't take time for self-care, and they don't necessarily do these things unless they have to, when they start, you know, noticing aches and pains, and they need to be doing prevention ahead of time versus waiting until something goes wrong. So if you're listening in today, take this as a sign to get up and do something, right?
Do something for yourself.
It is, you know, you have many services there that are offered. It's like what works best for you, right? Because what may work for me may not work for the next person in line. But we hope that by you sharing these stories inspires that person to come in and pay you guys a visit, right? I don't want to see, this isn't about, you know, competition. You know, there's so many people out there that needs help. You know, they need help.
100%.
Yeah. And honestly, to be frank with you, I wish you guys were closer. I think I did the math on my GPS. You guys are about 20-25 minutes away. And I think you are the closest location to where we're located.
Yeah, a lot of places didn't make it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but Ladies, again, I would really like for you to take advantage of this, because this is something that it's worth investing in yourself and it's worth looking into. I always end this with the final question that I have for you, Ed, is like, is there anything else that you would like to share with the ladies today that you may have, any piece of advice at all?
Well, I've been lately saying, I think we talked about this too, like y'all have just one trip around the sun, right? We do. And no matter what hand you've been dealt in life, no matter what your situation is, good, bad, whatever, everyone's going to have good days. Everyone's going to have bad days. Everyone's going to have good moments and bad moments and chapters and all this. But if you don't take care of you, how are you going to take care of other people? Right? Like, you can't be a good employee. You can't be a good mom. You can't be a good partner. You can't be a good person if you yourself are crabby or sore or tired or overworked. And we're so lucky to live here where we have different modalities, right? So the world literally is like this. Oh, you have that? Well, there's a pill for that. Oh, you have that? Oh, there's a pill for that. Oh, I want, it's Instagram. I want it easy. I want it fast. I want it now. I want it yesterday. And I don't want to have to work for it.
Yeah.
It's not life, right? It's just not life.
Sure.
There's no instant fix. There's no instant gratification. There's none of this. You have to work for it.
100%.
And if you want to be the best person you can be, you have to start with yourself, and you really have to start taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
so,
that's the best.
And I'm not saying everyone's got to be like you and like world champion, like all this stuff, right? You got to do what's good for you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, honestly. And that's the best piece of advice you could give. The world is your oyster. It's all upon how you decide to do with it. What, the decisions that you choose and make will ultimately be is it a sacrifice? Is it worth it? Is it not? So it's totally up to you. So I really appreciate you. I value you being on here today.
I'm so excited you invited me.
Yeah. So honestly, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in of another episode of the Lady Strong Fitcast. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or whatever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.